What I see here, I want to bring it to the same line here. So I'll just press tab, tab, tab. Now, once I press tab, tab and I get there, I can see that the first one here has moved in again. I'll click here and press backspace. 1, 2. All right, good morning. I want us to continue with our studies on Microsoft Word, and this morning we have a document to create. So we are going to create this document here. It's called Terms of Service Agreement, and in this particular document we are going to apply some styles to the text here, and we will apply a bottom border here. We will also apply some numbering over here, and we are going to apply some footers here and page numbers. So looking at what we'll be applying in this document, I want to quickly take us through those particular effects we'll be adding, and after that we will just work on the document. All right, so let me open to Microsoft Word, and the first thing here is called styles. In Microsoft Word we have styles, and these styles are located on the home tab to the far right. When you move to the far right, you are going to see something here called styles. The styles feature here is a very important feature in Microsoft Word. You get to apply a normal style, and this normal style is very effective. What happens is that if you copy any text or if you paste any text in your document and it is having some styles that you don't like, you can use a normal style to strip away any style that you don't want, and the text will go back to the normal formatting. We also have this one here called no spacing. We have this for heading 1, heading 2, and the title. Let me click on this arrow and we'll see some more. We have subtitle emphasis. We have emphasis, intense emphasis. We have strong, quote, intense quote, subtle reference, intense reference, book title, list paragraph. These are pre-designed styles that you can apply to text, and they help a lot. For example, when I'm creating a document like this and the title of the document says Terms of Service Agreement, if I want to style this particular title, all I will do is to highlight it and come to the styles and choose one of the styles. For example, heading 1. When you select heading 1, immediately it appears in heading 1 format. When you select heading 2, immediately it appears in heading 2 format. You can also select heading 3. It will appear in heading 3 format. You can also select heading 4. It will appear in heading 4 format. We also have heading 5. It will appear in heading 5. We have heading 6, and so on. So as you apply headings, more headings appear. So you can see here that right now I have up to heading 7. If I click on it, heading 8 will be created. If I click on it, heading 9 will definitely be created. Now, these heading numbers do not just give you a style or a text format or a text design. These heading numbers helps your document to be able to be arranged based on the hierarchy. For example, if you prepare a document in Microsoft Word and you want to create a table of contents, you are not supposed to design your own table of contents. If you apply the correct styles to each text or each heading, when you go to table of content, Microsoft Word will generate a table of content for you without you creating it. And so what Microsoft Word does is that it uses all heading 1s as chapter headings. Then heading 2s are subheadings. under the main heading. So when a table of contents is created, it will use all the headings you used. It is going to create chapter 1 for you, chapter 2, chapter 3 by itself, and it will use the heading 1 you selected. So this heading 1, we only use it for top level headings like a main title or a new chapter. After selecting heading 1, if you don't like the way it appears, you can go ahead and make it bolder. You can increase the font size if you want. You can even color it how you want. Even if you want to change the font, you can change the font, but it is still a heading 1. It is still a heading 1. And this heading 1 will be recorded in the system as a top level heading. And it helps in so many things. You can see the heading 1 is having a paragraph space at the top. So when you see something like this, if you like it, you can leave it. If you don't like it, you can remove it. These kind of things in Word, you have to be able to detect them. Because if you don't know how to control them, you may not be able to get your document to look the way you want. Alright, so this particular space here, I know from experience that it is a paragraph spacing. So I'll come to where we have our line and paragraph spacing. Over here, it is called line and paragraph spacing, and it's in the paragraph group on the home tab. So when I click on this and I come to the paragraph, I will see that I will see here that it says remove space before paragraph. That means there is space before paragraph. So when I click here, it will be removed. If I don't need it, I will remove it. If I need it, I will add it. Let's say I want to add a space under this. I can come here, line and paragraph spacing, come down here to add space after paragraph and add it intentionally so that anything I type here will not be too close to the title. Now, let's say you have a text formatted in heading 1 and styled like this, and you realize that you don't need the styling in it, you want it to appear normal. All you do is to use the normal formatting here, the normal style here. So over here you can see that this is normal. It's very, very interesting. So we can click on it and you will see that it has stripped away all the styling we had in it. So this particular normal style, we use it all the time and it helps so much. I think I'm going to style this, but I'm not going to use heading 1 or heading 2 or heading 3. I'm going to use the title style. There's a style here called title. Immediately you select it, your text appears in a well-designed title format. Let me check the document we are referencing, and it says terms of service agreement. It's a little bolder and centered, and I think the font size should be a little smaller. Our font size here should be a little smaller, so I'll make it bold and see. If it doesn't look like what I'm supposed to do here, I'm going to change the font to calibrate itself, and I think I have it. Then I'm going to center it, and then I will reduce the font size a little bit. So let's see, let's try the 24. All right, so we have talked about the styles. You can try all of them and you see how they work. The next thing we want to do is to apply this bottom border here. This is not an underline. If I need underline, I'll come here and click on this U to underline. We are not trying to underline. So let me undo and come to the paragraph group and use what is called the borders. So over here under borders, I'll click on the arrow and choose a bottom border. When I select the bottom border, you can see that it has created this line for me, and it looks like what I'm supposed to create. The only thing is that this one looks too thin. The line is too light, so I want it a little thicker. So I'll highlight this again and go back there, and I'll come down to borders and shading. Under borders and shading, I will work on the width. The width here, I will change it to a thicker one. We have the width in various thickness. Let me try the 3 points and see. Okay, and I don't see any change on the text, but I've changed the width. So what I'll do is that I'll come back here and apply the bottom border again. Once I apply it, I'm going to see it as thick as the one I selected. Let me check with this. I think mine is too thick. Let me go back and change it from 3 points to the 2¼ point. I don't see any change. I'll click on the arrow and apply again. So I think I have it now. Let me try a smaller one and see. Let's say no, 1.5. Let me apply 1.5. No, let me undo and stick to the 2¼ so this is okay. All right, so the next thing we'll do is to produce all the text here. Because of time, let me just copy the text here. Let me just copy them on this page. Copy. Now watch what I'm going to do. Anytime you copy text from the web or from a different document that you want to insert in your document, you have to know how you want to paste it. Most of the time when you just paste it, it will paste it with the styling it came with. And so when you copy things from the web, let me give you an example. I'm not going to use a web. Let me use an example here. Okay, so I have some code written here in C++, and I want to produce the text here inside my document. Watch what will happen. I'll highlight all the text and copy. When I come to my Word document, watch this. This is where we paste. When I paste, look at what will happen. It pasted it in the black background, the colored text, and it appeared the same way it was from its source. Anytime you copy some text from the web, it will come with a lot of formatting. Some of them will have tables, some of them will have divs, some of them will have colors and different styles that will come and distort the document you are creating. All you want is to put the text in your document. You don't want the formatting. And so Microsoft Word allows us to paste in different ways. Let me show you. When I zoom in here, you can see in the clipboard group paste. Now when you click on paste from here, it's just like pressing Ctrl V to paste. So when I click on this, I will get the paste with all the styling and formatting. This is not what I'm looking for. Let me undo that. And now let me show you what I want to show you. Over here under paste, there's an arrow down here. When you click on this arrow, you can see other paste options and what we call the paste special. And you can also set a default paste. This is very important. Paste special is something we will look at. For now, let me just use the paste options. The first option here is keep source formatting. That means it will paste with the formatting of the source wherever you got it from. The second one says merge formatting, and the third one says keep text only. Most of the time I use the keep text only because it is only the text I need. So when I click on keep text only, it will paste only the text. And what will happen is that I would like to do my own formatting. After the text appears, I will highlight the text, and however I want it to show, I know how to do it, so I will format it the way I want. I will apply my own formatting the way I want, and because of that, my document is going to look okay. Maybe this is how I want to show it in my document. I can do it myself. So I don't want it to come from, or I don't want it to come with the formatting from the source. All right, let me highlight the text here and copy. When I come here, I will go to paste. I'll click on the arrow and select keep text only. Once I do that, it will just paste the text without any formatting, and this is okay for me because I have the chance to apply my own formatting, and this is exactly what I want. All right, so let me check the formatting I'm supposed to do and do it. Now, what I told you here, if you forget it, sometimes certain things will frustrate you because you may just want a text from a website and you copy it, and when you paste it in your document, the way it pastes, it will not appear the way you want, and you may be tempted to type yourself or use it like that, and it will change your design. All right, so over here I'm going to do my own formatting. I can see this text here and there's a space here. I think it's a line break. So what I will do is to break this line. Now between here, I can see between and a gap here. This gap was created by an indent or a tab. So what I'll do is that I'll come here and press the tab key 1, 2. So once I press the tab key twice, it will move it and create a space I'm looking for. Then this text here is in bold. This text here is also in bold. With the next line, I see this as part of this line, space, and this is supposed to move onto the same indent here. So to do that, I'll click here and press the tab 1, 2, 3. The third one, push this one as well. So I'll click here and press backspace, and it will move in line. Now what I have done here is a formatting you should know how to do. It makes your document appear the way you want. So I've been able to do this by using the tab key. Some people will try using space, and that is terrible. Right now, what I'm noticing is that I have 3 lines instead of 2. So over here, the original has 2 lines, I have 3 lines, and I'm suspecting the margins. The margins here are smaller than mine. Mine are wider. So I'll come up here and open this margin a little bit and do the same to the left side so that everything looks uniform. So something like this, and I've achieved the 2 lines. Over here, the number 30, I'll click here, and guess what? I'm going to use tab, and it will move to the same line. This tab is very useful and very important. Over here, I'll click and press enter. After the end, I'm supposed to move the evergreen, so I'll press tab. I'll check here, and the existing over here, I'll come here. First of all, press backspace to let it join the line, space again, and what I see here, I want to bring it to the same line here. So I'll just press tab. Now once I press tab and I get there, I can see that the first one here has moved in again. I'll click here and press backspace 1, 2, and it will align them. Now I need to make this bold. I'll highlight and make bold, highlight this and make bold. Alright, so now the document is starting to look like what I want. The number 2 Morocco Road should also be on the same indent, so I'll come here, tap, 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 and it's there. Then there's space. I'll click here and press the space. Now this line here is joined to the first line here, so what I'll do is I'll click here and press backspace because I'm seeing the gap here to be too much. I'll press backspace for it to join, and when it joins, this is how it's looking. So when I check the original, I can see the space here, the space here before the now therefore. So I'll come here and press enter to create the space. Come here, press enter to create a space. This here too should join this line. I'll click here, press backspace. It joins, but I need to space out again. Then these services provided should stand out like this. So first of all, it needs a space, so I'll press here to create a space, highlight, bold, and this will also be here. Then we have ABC in numbering format. So what I'll do is that the ABC numbering format, I'll highlight them like this and introduce the bulletin and numbering. Now when it comes to listing, we have different types of listing. When I move to the paragraphs group, I can see 2 types of listing here. The first type of listing here is called what? Bullets. And the second type of listing here is called numbering. This numbering creates a numbered list, but the bullets create bulleted list. Sometimes we call them ordered list and unordered list. There are certain lists that you want to see the order, as in you want to know which one is first, second, third. If it is that way, you need to use a numbering listing. But if the order is not important, then you can use a bullet listing. So when I click on the bullets, I'll get a list like this, but then we will not know which one is first, second, third. Sometimes we list items without thinking of the order, or sometimes we list as items and the order is not important to us. We just want to list. If you just want to list without paying attention to the order, you use the bullet. But if you want to list with the order, then you have to use numbering. When it comes to numbering, when you click on this, you'll get it in a numbering format. Right now I'm getting ABC because it was ABC before. You can click here and change it to this style, 1 2 3. This is a numbering format. You can also click on this arrow, change it to this 1 2 3 with brackets, parentheses, closing. You can click on this and change it to III, Roman numerals, or you can use the ABC like this. So I'll select this one, and that is it here. This is how I want it to appear. So this is bulletin and numbering. Now the next subtopic here, it needs space and has to be bold. So I'll click here, press enter, and I'll highlight it and make it bold. I'm done. I'll check the second, I'll check it again. and I can see that it has two points, and these 2 points are listed in A and B. So what I will do is that I will first of all check the text. I can see that the spaces between them are too much, and I'm suspecting that it is the align breaks. So I'll click here and press backspace for it to join the line space. Click here, backspace, join the line space. Click here, backspace, join the line space. Click here, backspace to join the line space. I've solved the first one. So once they are one paragraph, they should look like this. If they are two paragraphs, then there will be some space. When I check this one here, I also see the same thing. I press backspace, space. Over here I want to press enter, and I have this like this. So I'm going to highlight these two and go to the numbering again and use the ABC like this, and it's going to format it this way. This particular one, I make it bold. I highlight these two, select the ABC like this, and it appears exactly the way I want. The only problem right now is that I am having 2 pages and the original is having 1 page for the text I have used. So I need to make sure my work also occupies just 1 page. How can I do that? Let me first of all check the margins. When I move up and I look at the top, the space here is not like mine. I have too much space over here. So that spacing here should be reduced. So I'll click here first of all, then I'll come to the left here and I will adjust the margins. So the margins here, I'm going to adjust it to somewhere like this, and I've closed the space a little bit. Let me scroll down and check if they are all on page 1 or they are still on page 2. Some are still on page 2. Let me check the bottom margin. With the bottom margin, I can see that because of the footer here, we have some space. So let me check again. Let me bring it down a little, just a little bit. Just a little bit. I think it's okay. Now I've adjusted the top margin and bottom margin, but I still have 2 pages. What will I do? Let me scroll up and start checking this, comparing it with the original. Over here, I can see that the space here is shorter than what I have. I have too much space here, so I need to close it up a little bit. To close it up, first of all, I'll highlight the line, and I will see that there is a selection there. There's a line break there. When I highlight it again, or when I come close, I can see the cursor blinking, and I can see a big gap under it. I think that big gap is what is creating the excess space. Let me highlight it and see. This big gap, I'm suspecting it to be a paragraph spacing. So what I will do is that I come to line and paragraph, move down, and I thought as much. There was a paragraph spacing. So I'll click on this to remove it, and after removing it, it looks much better. Let me compare it with the original, and I think this is still shorter than mine. So what will I do? I'll highlight this again, and this time I'll go up and check the font size. The font size here is 11. So what I will do is that I'll reduce it from 11, and as I reduce the font size, you can see that the space there is also reducing. So this is an intelligent way of controlling space. Let me increase it to, it used to be 11. Let me just make it 10 and see, or 9. Let me make it 9 and see if it's okay. So now I'll compare this with the original, and I think I have something. Let me continue checking the space here. Let me check. Let me remove the paragraph spacing there and see. So I'll highlight like this. I realize there's a paragraph spacing, so I will click on this arrow, remove paragraph spacing, and it looks much better. This is okay. Let me come here and check the spacing here, compare it to mine. I think mine is too much, so I'll come here and click on this line here. I think there's a paragraph spacing there, so I'll go to the line and paragraph spacing and remove. After removing, it looks much better. Let me undo and remove again for you to see it well. Okay, so this is how it used to be. I removed and it came up a little. That's fine. Let me keep checking the spaces. I think the space here is a little shorter than mine, so I can highlight here, and I'm also suspecting a paragraph spacing. I'll come here and remove. Okay, much better. Let me compare again. Alright, it's fine. Over here I can see the spacing here is much shorter than mine, so I have too much space here, too much. So what I'll do is first of all, I'll go and remove paragraph spacing. It is still too much. It is still too much. So what I will do is that I will highlight the line here, and I am seeing another paragraph spacing on this text. So the empty line had a paragraph spacing. The text here is also having a paragraph spacing. I'll highlight the text here, and what I will do is that I will go to line and paragraph spacing and remove, and now the space has closed up very nicely. Now this paragraph and line spacing, you'll be using it so many times, and so it is something you need to master. When you see a paragraph spacing that you don't want, you need to remove it. If you need one and it's not there, you need to add, but you'll be doing a lot of paragraph spacing. Alright, right now I want to highlight here, and I can see a paragraph spacing. I will go and remove. It has removed, but the space is still too much. I'll highlight the text here, come back and remove. Now it looks much better. Now I check the space here. And I realize that this is shorter than what I have in mind. So I will click here and remove paragraph spacing, and let me check again if it is okay. I think it's okay. I'll leave it. I'll check this space here, compare it to what I have here. I think this is shorter. Mine is too tall. So I'll come here and I will remove this. I've done it. Let me come here and check if there are any more. The space here, let me check. Okay, so there I need to create that space here, so I'll click here, press enter. I see B over there. I don't need a B. Now anytime you press enter, a new list number should be created. Right now I see B created and I don't need it, so you press backspace and it will be deleted. Now the space there, let me check and see if it's okay. I think it's okay. Now my space here is the only issue. Checking the space here, this is much shorter than mine. So what I will do is that I'll come here and remove space after paragraph, and I think it is okay. Right now when I compare this to mine, I think I also have one page. So now the document is not on 2 pages, it's on 1 page. This is exactly what I wanted to achieve, and I have done it. Now what I'll check will be the justification. When you look here, you see that the document looks like it's in a block this way, and that means it has been justified. When I check mine, I don't see mine in a straight block. I see it in these lines here, and I know that mine is not justified. So what I'll do is that I'll highlight every text from here to here, and I'll come to the paragraphs group, and I'll click on justify. So I'll click on this, and when I come here, I can see that it has justified my text for me and everything looks great. So this is page 1 done. Space. All right. So page 1 should end here. Now anytime you are creating a document, especially when you are referencing a different document, you need to make sure that if the document is supposed to be on one page, you have to make it appear on one page. If yours is giving you 2 pages, it means you need to adjust some settings. You have to adjust till it becomes 1 page, and I think I've been able to achieve that. All right, let me quickly look at the second page before we create our headers and footers. So I'll come to the second page. And I'll highlight the text here. From here to the bottom, right click and copy. I'll come here and paste. And this pasting, again, it has to be a text only pasting. So I'll paste only text. Don't paste with the formatting. You paste with only text and you do the formatting. That way your document will look the way you want. All right, so let me start formatting. So I'll check this one. I'll check this is bold, small space, and this text. I can see that everything is justified. It looks justified to me. So I'm going to justify mine. Mine doesn't look justified at all. So what I'll do is that I'll highlight everything here from here to the bottom and justify. So it is now justified. When I format it well, you see that everything is justified. First thing is to highlight this and make it bold. I can see spaces between these texts, even though they are supposed to be the same paragraph, one paragraph, there are spaces. That means the line has broken. So I'll click here, press backspace and space, it has joined it. Come here, backspace and space, it has joined it. So now it looks okay. Number 5 should come down. I'll click here, press enter to bring it down, highlight it to make it bold. Over here I can see the same problem, so I'll press backspace and space. Over here this should also go down. I need to highlight, make it bold. I can see the same problem here too. Backspace, space, again backspace, space. Over here, enter. I need to highlight and make this bold, and I think I'm seeing some numbering that are supposed to be here. So that's number 7. We have one I and I. Okay, so I'll just highlight everything here, 1 to 3. But then these lines are also broken. Backspace, space. Over here, backspace, space. This should also join. Backspace, space. Now if you copy and paste, you face what I'm facing, but if you type it yourself, you may not face this. All right, let me highlight from here to here and go to the numbering, and I will choose the I, this one in small letters. So after choosing that, my document is looking that way. There's a space here, then we have the signatories and their details. So over here I create a space like this. This one space. Okay, it's fine. I'll create another space here. Over here, space. And the two companies are separated, so I'll separate with the tab key. Tap, tap, tap. Tap again, tap again. All right, these lines too. Tap, 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 tap. Okay, authorized signature. Tap, 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 tap. Okay, you can see that the tab will bring it on the same line. I have another line here to bring tap, 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 tap. Okay, over here I have dock to move, tap, 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 tap. Now it has moved to the line that is supposed to be on. This should be bold. I'll highlight and make bold. Highlight this and make bold. I could have done them together by clicking here to highlight all of them, and I'll just make them bold. Now when I check here, I have some big space for the signing of the signature. Most of the time when people create documents, they don't give enough room for the signature. So you see that the line is closer to the text at the top. So whoever will sign will not have enough space, but this document has enough space for signing. So we are going to create that same space. Let's see how we will create it. We'll come here and press enter 1 and 2, and I think we have it. Then over here too, we have enough space. Let's try the same thing here. Click here, 1 and 2, and I think we have it. The next thing here is that I can see that the line is closer to the authorized signature, but mine, I see some gap there. Let me highlight everything here and try the paragraph spacing. I think I have. Remove it, and I have solved it. I have solved it. The text of the authorized signature looks smaller to me, so I'll come here, highlight these two, reduce the font size to 10. Let me try 9 and see. Okay, let me leave it at 9. Then over here they have bolded them, and over here remove space after paragraph. Okay, my document is coming together. Let me check again and make sure everything is okay. When I check the spaces here, I think mine is more. So what I'll do is that over here I'll highlight here and remove space after paragraph. Is okay. Do the same here. Remove space after paragraph. Do same here. Remove space after paragraph, and I think it is looking great. Okay. Over here there's no gap, but mine has a gap, so it means there's a line break. Backspace, space. All right, I've solved it, and I think mine work has some extra margins. Let me close the margin a little and see if it affects anything. Okay, we are still good to go. Let me open one here and close. Okay, let me show you something. When you are adjusting the margins and you see this particular indent handles here, you have to make sure you get the middle, and your arrow should turn like this before you can adjust. If your arrow doesn't turn in the double-sided arrow, for example, I'm not getting it, you'll not be able to adjust your margin to the left. What you may end up doing is adjusting the indent to the right or left, and this is not what you want. This will create a problem for you. So to adjust the main margin, make sure you target it, take your time, and get the left right icon. Okay, now I got it, so I can reduce or increase my margin the way I want. All right, so right now we will go ahead and add our footers and our headers. Now when you talk about headers and footers, what it means is that there are some documents that before the document begins, we have some information written, sometimes very, very small, at the top of the page. We call that a header. If you check in books, sometimes they write the title of the books at the top of the main page. And even if you are not on the first page, you are in one of the middle pages, you will still see the title of the book at the top. That is called a header. In documents, sometimes we create information at the bottom. We put some information at the bottom. and it can be any information. That information is called a footer. So in Microsoft Word, you can insert headers, footers, and page numbers. Page numbers should not be typed by yourself. One day I saw someone typing page numbers. We don't type page numbers, we just insert it. So what you do is that you go to the Insert tab and you are looking for this. Let me zoom in for you to see. Which one is this? Header. And this is what? And this one. These three work together. They work together. If you want a header, any header you select will run through the entire document. Headers help you to repeat content at the top of every page. They are useful for showcasing information like title, author, and page number. So you can see the sample here that there's information at the top. That is called a header. Let me try one header. I will not need it, but let me just try. Click here. And they have several headers here. You can choose any of them that you like. Some of them come with page numbers, some don't. So let me choose an example like this one here, and you can see that we have document and date at the top here. This document and date you are seeing here, they will run through the entire document. If I want to edit it, I can double click on it and come and change the document title and type my own document title. Then over here I'll come and type my own date. Once I do that, it will create the header for me. I don't need this header. Let me undo, and it's gone. What I need is a footer or the page number. So let me try using, okay, let me try footer first. When you click on footer, we also have built-in designs. You can choose any footer you want, and the footer can be text, can be a decoration, can be anything. Let me choose this iconic duck, and you can see that it is there like this. Sometimes you can use the margins here to push it down, other times no. And now there's a footer. What will happen is that every page will have the same footer. If you have 1,000 pages, they will all get the footer you create, unless you do some advanced settings, which we'll be looking at later. Okay, I just use this as an example. I'll change it. So this is a footer. I don't need it. Let me undo. Now let me insert the page number for you. When you go to the page number here, you have to decide where you want to let the page number appear, either top or the bottom of page. I'll choose the bottom of page. Once you select that, they will start giving you the design styles they want for you to choose one. I'll scroll through, and if I see one that I like, I'll use it. So okay, I didn't see what I'm looking for. Now what you have to understand is that footers and page numbers occupy the same space, and you can create a footer that also has a page number with it. So let's go back to footers and check on footers. When we scroll through, we can see that I have seen it. It's the view master horizontal. View master horizontal, that is what we used. So you click on it and it will apply. So when I check here, that is the same thing here. So here we have terms of engagement. I'll come here, instead of date, this one is providing date. Instead of date, I'll click inside the date box and type terms of service agreement. Let me check again. Okay, so it's in title case or sentence case. Terms of service agreement. Let's leave it terms of service agreement. That's not the title of our work. Good. So here, once you create your footer, you can come here and click on what is called close header or footer. Once you close header or footer, what will happen is that it will close and your footer and your page number will appear on every page. So my footer is also showing here. It doesn't look too deep for me. Let me check if I have to bold in it. No, I don't have to bold in it. So I think I'm done and the whole document is created. The whole document is created. I can save this document or I can save as PDF. I can save the text document or I can save it as PDF and use it as PDF. Any question? All right, so we are done creating it. I'll just look at yours and check if you've done exactly what you are supposed to do, and that will be it for today. Okay, so right now we need to save our work as a Word document first and then as a PDF. To save it as a Word document, I'll just click on File and Save, and I'll click on Browse and I'll choose exactly where I want to save it. So I'll look for the location. I want to save it in this folder, and give it a name. It has a name there already, Terms of Service Agreement. I already have a copy there, so let me make this one 02 and click on Save. So now it has been saved, and anytime your work is saved, you are going to see it on the title bar here, and the name you assigned or you gave will show here. So here I'm seeing Terms of Service Agreement 2. Now I want to save it as a PDF. To save it as a PDF, click on File, click Save As, and now you see your location stored here. So I'll click on that to show me my exact location. Then over here, Save As Type. This is where you want to pay close attention, because this is where you find a PDF. When you click on this, you are going to see a number of types here, and you can just choose one of them. So let's select PDF from here, and the Save As type is now PDF. Now that we have PDF, we can go ahead and click Save. Before that, you can see here that the file name is going to be Terms of Service Agreement 02.pdf. Now we are sure it's going to be PDF, so you save and it will save as PDF. Let's go and look for it. It's in this folder, and this is exactly what we saved. Terms of Service Agreements 02.pdf. Let me open it, and that is it here as a PDF document. It is well formatted. It looks very professional. If you want to print, you can go ahead and print from PDF or print from the Word. So today we've been able to design this document, and it's an agreement. So our focus was to learn how to format and make it appear professional. So I want to thank you for joining us in this lesson. I'll see you in the next lesson. Bye.